Hello, Film Independent members, and welcome to this Film Independent Presents Q&A for one of my very favorite shows, the Showtime series Work in Progress. I'm Jenn Wilson, Senior Programmer with Film Independent. Thank you so much to our sponsors, HIFPA and Vision Media. And now, please welcome today's special guest from Work in Progress, Season 2, series co-creator, writer, exec producer, and star. Was also Spirit Awards nominated for the first season of the show, Abby McEnany. Series actors Celeste Pechous and Tyler Anthony Davis. And series writer Tien Tran. And series director Yance Ford. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is such a beautiful convergence of so many different parts of my life because I have known Abby and Celeste for 20 some years. I'm a huge fan of Yance's prior work. I watch a ton of documentaries. I'm fangirling over everybody right now. So welcome. Welcome. So let's talk about Work in Progress. Abby,
yes.
Just because we have so many Film Independent members that are aspiring filmmakers, I was wondering if you would tell your story about how you made the pilot for this and then just like everything that happened after, because I think it's so inspiring. It's such an inspiring story, and I think it would inspire our filmmakers to hear it.
Well, that's very kind. Also, y'all know I don't have a great economy of words, so I'm going to try to make it very quick. It's going to take up 45 minutes. It's like, bitch, we don't need every single detail.
Keep it to 30. A tight 30, Abby.
And also, don't bet on it. That's money poorly spent. Okay, let's get into it. Hi. So I've been improvising and doing sketch comedy for, I don't know, 25 probably years. And I always I just want to perform. That's just what I've always wanted to do. And I'm not putting myself down when I say it. I'm like slower than most at getting places. And that's not, that's not a disparaging comment. It's just who I am. So like, I just take classes and then I perform and then I take more classes, I perform. And it takes me kind of like time to find confidence and my voice and stuff. Anyway, so then I audition every once in a while, but honestly, they're not tons of fat old queers going to be hired to sell hot dogs. And I'm a horrible auditioner, and there weren't tons of roles. So like, it was one of those things like, look, bitch, if you want to act, you better write something. So, oh, am I allowed to swear on this? I should have asked this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, okay. Should we start over? Okay. And then I started doing storytelling. And then I really liked that art form because it was like a way to share stuff, but also protect your head and heart. Cause like you tell true stories, but you also you can protect yourself in that. Okay. And then I did a few one-person shows, and one of them was a storytelling show called Work in Progress. And this friend of mine, Tim Mason, who we were going to work together on something else. I've known him and his wife for like 20 years. Came to this show, and we were going to have a follow-up meeting about these ideas I was pitching. And he was like, "Hey, why don't I want to direct more? You want to act? So why don't we just try to write a pilot and make this a TV show?" I was like, "Yeah," because I've always wanted to do it. And I always knew I'm clumsy. I just need to collaborate, and I'm better. It helps calm me in my anxieties, and I'm one of my few strengths is I can put up a lot of obstacles in my way. And so if I have somebody else to work with, we can work together and help each other. So anyways, I know this is 20 minutes too long. So we started writing. We met for like 6 weeks. So it was kind of like, let's meet this week. And then the next week we're like, okay, so is this a web series or a pilot? It's a pilot. What is is it like a show, kind of where do we see it? Is it a 10 episode season or is it a 22 episode? It's 10 episodes, it kind of like that. And we figured out what would happen and our arc of our first season, second season, third season. We're like, let's just write a pilot. And then Tim had gotten some meetings in LA because he won at the Slam Dance at the Slam Dance Festival in 2018. He got Best Narrative Short for this awesome short called No Other Way to Say It, starring a lot of our improv friends here in Chicago. It's phenomenal. Check it out. And so he got managers through that. And so he was going out for meetings and he was like, hey, I'm going to go out and pitch, and I want to pitch this show, but you don't really come across very, very well on paper. And some of my friends were like, that's rude. I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, like, I think I thought that was actually a kind of compliment. So what we did is we shot that first therapist scene, which is actually the first scene in the pilot. We actually shot that in September of 2016. And we used that as sort of a proof of concept thing. So he went out to LA a few times, and we actually met with the production company a few times, and then they sold a different show, and that actually worked in our favor. It was kind of like heartbreaking at the second, but it wasn't probably going to be a good fit. Meetings. There was going to be a strike, blah, blah, blah. And then it was like, nobody was really biting. And it was like, let's just fucking write it. And so we were like, okay, who's going to watch a pilot on Vimeo or YouTube? So we're like, well, now we're going to make it a web series. So we rewrote the pilot like several times, and then we wrote it into a web series, and we shot that over 3 days in late June and early July of 2019. And Celeste was lucky enough. We were able to like work with her schedule. We flew her in. That sounds very dramatic. She was probably in the cargo part. Let's fly you in. Like, you know what? We'll like put some holes in that box, Celeste, and we'll ask them to be nice to it. And so we shot the pilot over 3 days, and it was really a true labor of love in Chicago, meaning that this is such a wonderful creative community. And Tim and I had been in the community for so long, and people were like donated stuff, donated time, and like helped us like really make this happen. And it was such a gift. So then, sorry. Okay. So then we put it together, and then like Mace was like, oh, sorry. Okay. And then Mace was like, hey, actually like this works better as a pilot. I'm like, no, I know. And so then we put it together as a pilot, and he's like, well, and I was like really into, like, we were going to submit it to festivals, and I was very clear, and I think maybe this will have to be edited out, but I didn't want it to be submitted to any queer festivals, because I really believe that once something is pigeonholed as a queer show, it's like it can get, it can lose audience, and that's just from the ignorance of society. So like, come at me, people. It's just how I really feel that once you start pigeonholing art early on, it can affect the audience to which it reaches. I probably was grammatically incorrect in that. Okay, so then I assumed we were going to submit to Slam Dance, and I was like, yeah, I mean, Mace, you won last year. We'll probably at least maybe we'll at least get looked at. We might not get into Slam Dance, but we'll get looked at because you won. And he's like, well, we're also going to submit to Sundance. I'm like, why? There's no way we could get in. He's like, it's just $60. I'm like, okay, fucking Rockefeller, I don't have $60. So we submitted to Sundance. We got into Sundance. Jenn, I saw you for the first time in like 20 years at Sundance. And the thing about it is like, it was only their second year of having episodics. And it was just so beautiful. Like there were 10 episodics chosen, and we went to Sundance. It's just so bonkers. Like, and that was just a whirlwind. Yeah, so we went to Sundance, and we were planning to go to LA the next week. We had no meetings, but it was like, okay, we'll plan to come into LA. And so we were going to be there for like 3 days. And Dave Vinegar, who a lot of y'all know from the show, it was there. And that's the first time I met him, was at our premiere. And he was like, we have a meeting. He gave me his card. I'm like, why do you give me? I can't call you. You work at Showtime. And yeah, he's a lovely guy. And then and then we had a few other meetings. And then Showtime was the one that wanted us. And it was a really good fit. So that's how it started. And I would say like, it was just like, look, I wasn't right for anything else. I'm a horrible auditioner. I really wanted to perform. This is the only, like, it just makes me happy. So, and I love it. So like, it was just sort of like, all right, keep going. I think.
Okay, good story. Shut up.
No, that was like 40 minutes.
One of my friends is a programs episodic at Sundance, and she was like, I just got something you have to see. You're going to love it. So she sent it to me, and it was Work in Progress, Abby. And I was like, what the hell? Oh my God. And she was just like, I'm so excited that this was submitted. It's my favorite thing. And I was so freaking excited for you, but also like not completely surprised because I've known of your brilliance for many, many years, and of Celeste's brilliance, and I'm happy that you're finally being celebrated. This season, so I got to see 4 episodes, but we're only allowed to talk about 2. But this season appears to be focused a lot on your relationship between Abby and Campbell. And as you guys have known each other for such a long time, do you think you let your own private relationship influence your performance in the series a lot?
No, it never comes. Yes, I would say, and Celeste, I want Celeste to speak to it, but I would just say, like, for sure, and like, I think a lot because this is my first time on a set, like it's my first job, right? Like it's my first time on a professional set and stuff. And so everything is new. And like this year, obviously I knew a little bit more, but like working with Celeste, who I've known and loved and been friends with forever and trusted and is so fucking brilliant and makes me smile and feel at ease is such a dream. So I think that comes out. Celeste, take it away.
Well, I want to say that literally in between takes, I'm dying and like makeup's like, Celeste, Jesus, because I love, like Ab said, and I'm just kind of regurgitating what she said. I love Abby with all of my heart, and there's no way that doesn't come across. I think it's just kind of impossible for that to actually shine through. And a lot of the compliments I've received on season 1 was like, oh my God, I can't believe how your friendship comes across on television, so natural and genuine. And I'm like, it's not that far of a stretch. I mean, at least the relationship, like Campbell, of course, is a little different from Celeste, but like the relationship between Campbell and Abby is very, I think, similar to Ab's and Celeste. And I just, as Campbell protects and loves Abby, I do the same. So what you're seeing in those scenes, and especially what you said, it does really come across in season 2, obviously. It's madly, purely love. I might have been super grammatically incorrectly on that, but
my dad will let you know.
Yeah. No, it's just genuine and the history is there between Abby and myself, and that trust and just a foundation of love. And I think that does come across.
I love your relationship in the show. It's like if you ever get to experience like a platonic friendship love affair, which I have had before with the gay man best friends. And we always joke that if he breaks up with his husband, then we'll just get married because we're already having a platonic love affair anyway. But I think it's beautiful. It celebrates friendships, which are such a hugely important part of general life, but also queer life. I think LGBTQ people, it's survival for us, our friendships. Yeah. And
oh yeah.
Abby, I know that you had, I remember from Chicago, and I think a lot of them are in the show too.
Yeah.
Your lesbian crowd from Chicago.
Yeah, my favorite girl. What's so funny is we are howling because I've been fucking doing this for like 25, 26 years. And I finally joined SAG, and those bitches got SAG like 6 months after I did. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, one's like it works in like education. Well, I mean, like, it's just like one's a social work. I mean, it's just like, are you so it makes me so happy. I mean, it is like that kind of, that's when that stuff happens. Like I look at like, and I've known Tian for years, and I've known Tyler for years, and I mean, and we've gotten to get, I mean, very like close on the show, and but like I always loved and admired them, but didn't know them very well, and now I feel the Chicago. But these friends of mine are like in SAG and are in it's just no, okay. It's just outrageous. Yeah. So it is really fun. And I would say that like that's the goal. I think and again, stress. There's a lot of stress on set, right? And not every day is golden. But the goal that Lily and I have had from the start was that look, you want to want to go to work, and the goal is that everybody treats each other with respect and kindness and with some grace. And again, like there are hard times on set, of course, but like the goal is like we lead with respect and kindness and I hope, like, I feel that we do pretty well on that. I hope, because it's all like, we're just coming together to create a story that is bringing light on stories that aren't often represented. So I think that's, hopefully that comes across. And I think just the way like Celeste and I like have fun and stuff. And it's just, I don't know. I hope that does come across. And I also have to say that Tien is also is in a role this year in the show. And also Tyler is not only one of the cast members, but is a punch of writers.
Oh, everybody does everything. I love this family. Yeah. So, so many of you are improvers. Have you been purposely trying to cast a lot of people with an improv history on the show? And how much does improv play a role in shooting the show?
I think that just because we're in Chicago and I know a lot of improvisers and there's phenomenal, talented folks and often overlooked. I think that like, I don't go out and like, we need an improviser for this role, but I just think, look, the fact that I have a fucking television show is outrageous and like an amazing gift. And like, and there are so many folks here that it's just an accident that it was me. Right. So like the whole thing is to like open up this amazing opportunity I have to people that haven't been given a chance, So, and some of the people that are on it have been given a chance and have long careers, and some of them it's their first time. I don't know. So I think that it's not like, I think improvisers make amazing actors because they can just roll with it. And also I'm bad at learning lines. So if they can improvise, it helps me and it helps the director. Yance will tell you. Yeah, so I just think that there's a freedom and a lack of getting stuck in like, oh wait, what, when you were in this experience, like, what do you feel? Like, why, like, let's not study what you're feeling. What are you feeling right now? I just think that really comes across. And then, and then I have to say, like, so Tyler, who is a writer, and Tianzu, who's a writer, like they both auditioned. Like, I think a lot of people look at the show like, oh, it's all of Abby's friends. It's like, I have to say, like, Showtime isn't just like, hey, McEnany, put anybody you want in there. Everybody goes through this rigorous audition process and has to go through Showtime and get approved and callbacks and all that stuff. So, these Tien and Tyler are amazing improvisers, and they auditioned and got called back and then got approved by the powers that be of Showtime. So like everybody who has a role in this certainly deserves it. I just want to make that very clear. And yeah.
So for Yance, who's Oscar nominated, Emmy winning. Yance.
When you meet Yance, that's what he leads with. I mean, the ego on that guy.
I mean, Yance Oscar nominated.
You should lead with that every time. Jeez, I
would. Yance, so two things. What made you want to work in scripted television, and what attracted you to work with this crazy crew of people?
Yeah, I mean, I think what attracted me to work in scripted, I mean, first of all, in documentary, you just don't know what the hell is going to happen. and I was just like, I would really like an environment where, at least on paper, I know what's going to happen. Like, that for me is just like, I really would like to just have like that bit of a break. Like, I just don't want to have to like guess at what my story is going to be and not know until we're at the end of post-production what my film actually is. No, I've always wanted to work in scripted. I just happened to make a documentary first because I wasn't sure I'd ever make another film again. So I was like, I should make the most important one first, just in case. So I did that. And then what attracted me to the show, I just the scripts. When we got the scripts, and Lily and Abby were like, read the entire season and send us your top 4. I read the entire season, and I think I sent like a top 6, and then there were like 2 tied for first place. It's like I didn't actually know like how I was supposed to pick from all of these brilliant scripts. But I just I got episode 108 and 109, which I can't talk about. But the season on the whole is just fucking phenomenal. And then I got to work with Tyler, Celeste, and Abby. In the episodes that I directed, it was just such a thrill. It was such a thrill.
It was really cool to hear you talk about how, I guess you have your start in documentary filmmaking, but then also to be on set with you and watch you sort of craft the scene that my character was in. And it's like I can see like you getting like wrapping your brain around like, oh, I'm not like limited to whatever happens. Like I can craft this, I can sculpt this. I know the lines that are like being about to be said. So hearing your take on we did this months ago, but that's so cool. That's super dope.
It really is. I mean, it was super dope for me because I was just like, wow, there is this incredibly there's this fully rendered, really rich world on paper, and like I get to be the one to help bring it to life. Like, seriously, But it's such an incredible experience working with the team behind this show that I can't say enough about like the actual teamwork makes the dream work aspect of this program. It was such an incredible experience for me to slide right into the director's role, surrounded by all of these incredibly talented professionals doing their job at the top of their game. It was a real privilege.
I love this love fest, and it's also like everything. Your whole experience is just like the antithesis of what people expect you to say about a Hollywood show, or a mainstream cable network show.
I would just add to that like I think that's right. I mean, first of all, I don't know because I haven't had another job. However, what I hear from folks who are in LA is I think that this is a very Chicago show that happens to be on an amazing, beautiful network that is giving us this amazing opportunity. I always feel like I'm a company man for Showtime because they've been so wonderful and I love them so much. However, really, like this is a very Chicago show. We write here, we shoot here, we do post-production here. We don't go to LA for any of it. So like, I think that comes across and that's certainly the vibe that we're trying to keep on set, I think, and hopefully on the show.
Well, and I want to pop in too, like just to, again, coming in, daily to work on this show from hair to set design to everyone, and Abs, it does fall from the top, the grace and demanding a welcoming, respectful set. I have not yet spent a day where I'm like, ugh. Ooh, what's going on? Like it's been so beautiful from working with day players or extras coming in to fill this beautiful world. It does come from Lily and Abby to really create that type of presence on set. It's truly phenomenal.
Yeah, I will say that anytime anyone asks me about work in progress, this is one of my first staff writing opportunities, and I always tell people this has ruined me for everything else because I truly think that the room that the environment that Abby and Lily and everyone who works on this show, it's just radically generous and loving and tender and empathetic in a way that we've been told that the industry is a certain way, and to walk in and have this be one of my first jobs, I'm like, well, the bar has been set astronomically high. Everything else is going to be, really, really different. So thank you, Abby, for ruining the rest of my experience in this world.
It's all downhill from here.
It's all downhill.
Well, I think we are out of time. but I mean, I could stay on here for an hour, but I just want to say this show is really important for me personally, for its non-binary and butch lesbian and trans representation. I think it is an extremely groundbreaking series. I thank you for that so much, Abby, for showing up and being you, for all the years that you have. I know that it's not easy. We don't get to see ourselves on the television screen, on the movie screen, and I think that it's, oh my God, I'm going to get so teary right now. I think it's going to make a huge difference in people's lives in general, or people, but for people that want to be in the industry too, in the LGBTQ community.
That is, thank you.
You're also freaking brilliant. Let's have a party. Woo!
Yeah.
Somebody got some Miller Lite.
Yeah, dogs.
Tall boys laying around somewhere.
Tall boy, yeah, they're everywhere, baby.
Abby,
I have a 6-pack right here.
when it's a bad day on set and something doesn't work, do you still say they're not all winners, folks?
Yeah, probably. Or when I'm really stressed, I'm like everybody chill out when I'm the only one who's stressed out. I don't know. I gotta say
the best is the best
Go
is
ahead,
when
Celeste.
sorry, Tyler, the best is though when Abby's like, I'm not sure about that nickname in college. Or whatever somebody says, like, that's not gonna work. Nickname in college.
Yeah. I mean, Abby, you keep set moving, but you have 1000% like it's like, oh, dude, like so Lily gives a piece of direction. Abby has like a tiny like joke on like underneath it, and then underneath that, it's like, well, they're not all winners. And that's when Abby decides to like check her script.
Oh, yeah. I was like, wait, I'm sorry, we're not all improvising. This isn't a beat sheet. Listen. Okay.
I just want to say a note for Showtime. Campbell's T-shirt, "America Needs Lesbian Farmers." I think is the swag that you want to sell from this show.
I would buy good ones.
My dad is an Illinois farmer. I just want to wear that T-shirt in front of him and see what he says.
I'll see if I can snag you one, Jen.
Sweet.
I think he got some good ones this year too.
So season 2, do your promo. Season 2 airs on August
22nd. Episodes 1 and 2 will be on August 22nd, and then episodes 3 and 4 will be on August 20. Do the math, Abby. 29th, and it's 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern Pacific. Oh, I think. I don't know. Is that
fantastic.
Right,
I can't wait to see the rest of the season. Unless Showtime wanted to send me the rest of the episodes early.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, everybody, for being here. You're all wonderful. I enjoy all of your work so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing so much more. Abby, will you come back every season that you're doing? Will you all come back every season and work in progress?
Let's knock on wood that we get more seasons, and it's yeah. Yeah. Oh no, Mertz and Ethel are going nuts. That's what I was to say. Thanks, Film Independent. It's a real honor, and it's just really an honor to be here. And thanks for all you do. It's really important stuff. So thank you, and thanks to everybody on here, my loves. Thank you so much for helping me.